Good evening, everyone, and welcome to live election coverage here in Woburn, Massachusetts on Today in Woburn's election series. My name is Carla Bowden, and I'm so excited to be here with a lot of the candidates from today's election. So we're going to be having folks stop by, answer some questions, share how their day went, and we'll be sharing the election results with all of you as they come in. So our first guest for the evening is Councilor at Large, Rob Toro. Rob, come on over.
Perfect. All right.
Come have a seat, Rob. How you doing?
Good, you?
Not too bad. So how was the day?
A little bit less stressful than last time, but...
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And so were you able to get to all the schools?
Yes. I had a lot less people here helping this year, but I still wanted to have a presence, so I made my rounds to most of the schools. I think the only side I didn't get to was the Wyman, but all the other polling locations I was at, and I was at several different times, so...
Was there anything anyone had to say today when you were meeting folks at the polls?
No, not necessarily. Everyone was very cordial and just, seemed to be happy. It was a very windy, cold day, but it wasn't raining, so it was great. But no, everyone seemed to be great. Yeah,
awesome.
Nothing specific.
And what are, I know on the show you talked about some of the things that you were looking forward to coming up in the next 2 years. Is there anything you want to share in case folks were not able to see your interview?
Sure. I'm super looking forward to who ends up being on the school committee this year. One of my priorities is definitely to work and strengthen our relationship with the school committee and work to better our schools. But we have a bunch of projects ongoing. We have work being done in downtown that's super important, including parking management. I think I mentioned on the show. We have some development projects that are in front of us that we'll be talking about. But definitely just working with the schools, maintaining a good financial budget, keeping our taxes affordable and reasonable, but providing great services to the residents of Woburn.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for stopping by, Rob.
Absolutely. Enjoy
Have
the
a
rest
great
of your day.
night. Thank you. Good luck going against yourself.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, we're going to have the opportunity to have folks coming in and out throughout the evening. So I'm excited to introduce our next guest, James Austin, who is running for re-election on the school committee with 9 other folks. How are you, James? Great to see you.
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to see you as well.
So how was your day?
It's been long.
I can imagine. Where did you start out this morning?
I started off at home and then I went to work.
Oh, no.
I actually had to work today. I had a few client meetings today, I had a staff meeting, had a partner meeting, so it was a long, busy day at work. And then went home to get the family, so my energy is really low. 9 o'clock is my bedtime usually, so being here, it's like, okay, am I going to be able to make it? I think I will.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I've seen you on the show. I know that you've been working on some communication efforts, as I think you're the communications chair.
Community relations.
Community relations chair for the school committee. Is there anything you want to talk about relative to that committee and what you're working on?
Sure. One of the things that we're working on now is kind of a little small, I call it a soft reset. Just kind of looking at the vision of what the superintendent is looking to kind of move forward, which is going into the community, seeing who's in the community and bringing them to the subcommittee to actually figure out if there's a way or a possibility that they can partner with us. So that's something we've been working on. Alongside, the buzzword this year has been transparency and communication. So I'm looking at develop a survey just to kind of figure out how can we be more transparent? Is it that is it the school committees not being transparent, or is it the school district? You know, the two different opposite sides of the spectrum. So just kind of get into the community and asking them, how can we be more transparent? How can we communicate better? And then making some moves to do so.
Well, that's fantastic. I think the community will be happy to hear that the school committee and the school department are working on things that they've heard from folks coming to meetings, and so it's great that they're going to feel well represented. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you want to share with our viewers before election results start to come in?
I'll just say this. This has been an exciting run this year. I would say because there's so many awesome people that's running, and I've said to many of people that whether I win or lose, I'm still going to support our students. I initially was supporting our students prior to running for election, and I'm going to continue to do so afterwards. And good luck to everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to come before you and speak.
Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
So everyone, we're going to welcome in Yano Sebastiano, Ward 1 City Councilor candidate. How is the day going?
The day is great. I'm frozen. I need to warm up a little bit. Started at 6 o'clock this morning, so here we are at 8. I've been outside all day long.
So how did it go at the Joyce?
It went well. Pretty good turnout. Started off a lot of people early. It was a great day. Met a lot of new people today. So it was great. I'm excited. Ward 1, I will say, will be in great hands. Whether it's Kevin or I, Ward 1 will have a voice. Joanne, if you're listening, thank you so much for your 10 years. We're excited.
Great. What's the last few? So we haven't talked since before the primary happened. What's the last couple of months campaigning been like for you?
Just, attending a lot of city events, door knocking, holding signs, phone calls, Facebook messaging, fixing signs that blew over. It's the last few months have been great. This whole experience has been great. I did run Rob Toro's campaign prior, but what I've learned in the last 6 months, I wouldn't change it for the world. The people that I met, so this is it's been a great experience.
Is there anything that might have changed since we last spoke as far as like what you're hearing from constituents in Ward 1? Is there anything new that came up?
I got a new one yesterday from one of the elderly folks at the luncheon, is that we don't offer any local rides for senior citizens. So that was, I stopped to think about it. And to be honest, we don't really do much for our senior citizens. I know there's, if you live in a home, there might be like buses or some sort of transportation, but the average senior citizen in the city might not have transportation. So they're paying for Ubers, Lyfts, cabs. So that was brought to my attention, and also traffic.
Always traffic.
Always traffic.
Always traffic.
Just, where Woburn's situated, on the map, 93, 95, there'll always be traffic in the city.
I don't know if you saw the interview that I had with Bob Ferullo, but he gave me a lot of data on trucks and when they're allowed to come through the city, and that they can't come through after 9 o'clock, and what the first left and the first right is off of Main Street. I learned a lot about trucks, so watch that episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Should you need to know more about trucks.
Actually, to be honest, I watched I watched every one, not all the way through, but I did watch, every interview that you did, and thank you again. I know it's a lot of work and a lot of time and working with people's schedules, so, kudos to you for doing such a great job and finally get to meet you in person.
Yeah, you too. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to keep rolling. We've got some folks in, but good luck tonight.
Thank you so
and
much.
Good
So nice to meet you.
So Woburn, as you can see, candidates are rolling in. We're about 7:57, and we have another guest, James Fletcher. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Candidate for school committee. James, how was the day?
It was good. It was busy, but it was fun. My best part about this campaign, the reason why I taught in Woburn in the first place, coached Woburn in the first place, and continue to want to serve in the city, is getting to meet more people over and over again, as many times as I can, establish relationships, rapport, wherever I can. It's about serving the city, and this has been no better way to do it.
And so I know we talked a few weeks ago, how has the last few weeks of the campaign been rolling up to Election Day?
It's just been looking at, where I think I can impact people most and what I think I can do differently. It's been contact, right? It's been whatever version of contact I can do, whether it's door knocking, mailers, text, whatever it's been. It's been getting out to the voters, just being present and being visible, and also being open to feedback, right? It's not about just being there, it's about being someone who can be come to and be present with conversations that need to happen in order to make our schools better. And that's what I've endeavored to do since I've stepped foot in this campaign, and especially in the last month or so.
Is there anything unique that you heard from folks as you were talking recently, something that maybe you hadn't heard before or that you hadn't necessarily thought of before?
A weird thing was, a lot of people had brought out to me that they were happy, not happy, but thought my perspective of being a former teacher in the district brought a unique perspective, because I kind of knew what was going on, was kind of in the inside, but now I'm an outsider looking in. I'm a taxpayer. I'm going to have my children go through the Woburn Public Schools. So I've been sort of, in the factory where the sausage is made, but also now I can see it from the outside. And I can bring that perspective as well. That's one unique thing I've heard from a lot of people as I've had the opportunity to go meet people in the last, especially the last 2 or 3 months, but the last 2 or 3 weeks especially. So that's one of the things that I've been really taking to heart and really been harping on for a while.
And as a former teacher in Woburn and having kind of that different perspective, is there anything with that you feel like you'll be able to bring to school committee?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing as a teacher that I wish I was able to impact more was my ability to develop myself professionally. And I think Woburn does an outstanding job of providing those opportunities to teachers, but I think there needs to be more input from the teachers themselves as to what those opportunities are and what would be more valued by those educators in those opportunities. So that's sort of something I want to push, just letting these teachers have more of a voice in what their time is best spent doing, not only to become good educators, but good people and well-rounded in fields and subjects that evolve around us every single day. Being a math teacher 40 years ago is not the same as being a math teacher today. And we need to be good at evolving ourselves, not only professionally, but academically and in that realm as well. So providing opportunities for those teachers to be able to do that on the city's dime, which is our job, is important.
Great. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It was great meeting you in
Thank you so
person.
much.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much for all you do for the city.
And people are continuing to come, and our next guest is going to be Maria Teresa Nagel. For a second there, I was going to say it backwards. I'm so sorry. How are you?
You said it perfectly.
I know,
though.
but I almost said it
That's
backwards.
fantastic. No,
all the
amazing.
words coming out of the mouth.
You have to memorize not just 10 school committee candidate names, but everyone else is running.
All
so
of the
I
names.
get it.
All of the names.
Yeah.
How did the day go?
The day went really well. I listened to mentors and people much wiser than me and just really put in a lot of the polling work in the morning. So I got up bright and early, got those signs out, tried to greet folks, went to all of the polling stations, and then in the afternoon failed, but tried to think about anything other than tonight's election.
And what was the distraction? What did you try to do?
I took a long shower.
Ooh.
Which, as the mom of a 5 and 3-year-old, that doesn't happen very often.
And I'm sure that it was freezing out, so also
Yes.
a long hot
So
shower.
it's delicious.
Yes.
I had some lunch, and then I failed because then I was constantly just checking up on the folks that were at the polling stations and just making sure that everyone was okay because the wind was horrific, and then just reaching out to voters, those folks that had committed. So, yeah.
So it's been a few weeks since we've seen you on the show. Is there anything that you heard or that you saw since then that you feel like, this was something we kind of didn't have on our radar or that we hadn't talked about previously that you might want to share?
Not really. I mean, I think that, so we started the campaign in earnest back in May, really starting to talk to folks informally. Then once I pulled papers, I started door knocking from the get-go. And what I've been hearing is the same patterns, same concerns, a lot of ideas. Actually, no, I would retract that.
Okay.
There was one idea that that I thought was phenomenal, and again, just hones in on the reason why we need to be constantly having conversations with our constituents. Obviously, there's been a lot of concern around AI, right? And AI in our schools, and how do we teach kids that it is a tool, right? It is here, but how to ensure that it's not abused, how to ensure that it is leveraged in the best way, and that it's not detrimental to our students' learning. And that had been the focus. And then I met this parent who is the parent of a student on an IEP. And she is very involved in her son's studies. And she said, it's AI. And I was like, of course, AI. And she explained that the challenge she was facing was that some math teachers were using AI to create the math problems. So she, as a parent, did not have anywhere to go and seek guidance for that particular math problem to then help and guide her son in completing his math homework. So that if teachers were going to continue to use AI for, say, math, if there was a way to then provide some sort of cheat sheet or guidance to the parents so that the parents can be that trusted teacher at home to guide their kids.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It's brilliant.
It is brilliant. And if you're using AI to be able to create the problems, you should be able to use AI to create the cheat sheet or the answer key. So that actually would work out really well.
Absolutely.
I think across the board, everyone's trying to figure out how to use AI in the most responsible way. The best comment I heard from somebody is, you want it to basically, like right now, a lot of people are, they work 80% and they use, like, say, technology 20%. And you want it to be almost like flipped. You want to be able to, like, focus 80% and, leave the busy work to the 20%. And that's what AI can do. And I think that that's, like, so smart. And so even being able to properly bring that into education and making sure that kids are still learning, that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to share before I let you go?
Nothing. I'm excited about tonight. I think that this has been just an incredible journey. Regardless of what the results are, I have learned so much more about Woburn and feel so much more connected to our community. And I'll be honored if I am chosen to be part of our school committee. And if I am not, I will be honored to continue to find ways to serve our wonderful Woburn. So I think it's a win tonight either way.
Well, thank you so much. It was great meeting you, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Carla.
And folks, before we go on to our next guest, we are going to be bringing in Jessie Wetzel, who's going to be my next guest before I take a break. Jessie, how was the day?
Oh, it was wonderful. A little windy, as you might know from being out there, but it was great. Connected with so many people. My kids were with me the whole day, so lots of snacks and donuts, etc. were had, and shared amongst people out at the polls, which was fun. Yeah.
I have to tell you that I was really impressed when John showed up at a polling location with a goodie box.
Yes.
With Wetzel for Woburn, and I was really impressed, and also I desperately wanted a snack.
I hope you got one.
Of course. Of course he let me.
I have my
shared. He
trunk
was
has
lovely.
some too.
So I thought that was great. I also heard that you had your dog campaigning with you today.
Yep, so she was in and out of the car. Obviously, you can have dogs on certain school property, right? So, but she was with us, and I was thinking after, she wears bandanas sometimes, so next time I think maybe a vote bandana or something like that would be really cute.
That would be really
yes,
cute.
Her name's Clover.
I love
turned
that.
1.
Very nice. So how do you feel like the day went?
Good. It was great. It was just a good day. I love holding signs and waving and seeing people. I think it's fantastic. Great conversations were had with other people, electioneers, those are the people holding the signs, and people waving, and it's just a good spirit, frankly. And bake sales, many bake sales. So that was also an added bonus for my stomach. But I think it went really well. I've had a lot of positive interactions in terms of voting and things like that, so I feel good. Obviously, a little nervous about as we wait for them to come in, but yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, everybody got really... I know. I was gonna say, Well, and everybody just got really quiet in the chamber, so we thought election numbers are starting to come out, but they are not.
Soon.
It's all a lie. But don't worry, we will share when they come. So, Jesse, I know we talked in September, so
did.
it feels like forever ago.
Yes.
Since then, is there anything that when you were speaking with people, doing reaching out to constituents, is there anything unique that came up that you were like, oh, like I hadn't heard that before, or that isn't something someone has brought up before, that you might want to share?
Sure. So I'm just thinking about what we talked about already, redistricting, new buildings, which of course a lot of people are talking about because it's the talk of the city. Something unique that came up. This was actually really cool, and I'm really personally proud of this person, and she recently became a citizen and was casting her first vote for me.
That's awesome!
And I was truly honored and humbled, and also congratulations to her. So I would say that was my number one, just like really feel good moment for her, and it was a really amazing, humbling moment for myself. Other big topics I heard, and I heard you actually talk a little bit about it with me or Teresa Nagel, was AI and AI in the classroom, because we're using it in workplaces. It's coming, we're investing a lot of money into it. And so it is something that our curriculum subcommittee is looking at, as well as our assistant superintendent Young, and trying to figure out how do we embrace it or how do we not, and what that would really look like. So I do think that's the forefront of a lot of people's minds, because we're thinking about education. Of course, you're going to talk about curriculum.
Yeah, but I think that's fantastic that it's something that the curriculum committee is looking at, and that you're having those conversations, and so that can be something that folks attend subcommittee meetings and give feedback on. So that's great to know.
Yep. All subcommittees, school committee meetings are public, so you are always welcome to attend. Public comment at school committee, and once in a while you'll see public comment at subcommittee, but typically subcommittees, people are there to listen.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Good luck
My pleasure.
tonight. I hope you
Thank
thawed
you.
out. Good to see you.
So
Oh, I love your donut ring.
Oh, I do. I have a donut ring.
She has a donut ring. That's awesome. Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great
Thanks,
seeing
guys.
you.
Thank you for filming as well.
Thank you. And we're just going to take a short break for a few minutes, and we will be back.
Oh, I
Welcome back, everyone. I have Kevin Meany, Ward 1 City Councilor candidate. Kevin, how'd the day go?
Well, I'm getting news that it could have been a little better. I think we came up a little short in the final tally. I don't think it's already posted yet, but from what my people are telling me, we looks like we came up a little short. And you know, that's politics. That's how it goes. So we gave it our best effort. I want to congratulate Yano O'Meara. He ran a first-rate campaign. Classy guy, great guy. We knew it was going to be close. It seems like maybe the ward wants to go in a different direction. You know, I've been around for a little bit, haven't been successful, but Yano's kind of new on the scene, and he's younger, more good-looking than me, I guess. So, but he ran a great campaign, and my hat's off to him. Really, I wish him the best.
So what's next for you?
Well, I'm going to have a Bud Light right after this because it's been a long day.
Understandable.
But after that, I don't know. I'm still on the Conservation Commission. You know, I spent 32 years in public service trying to help people. I want to continue to do that. So helping people is what I do. So I'm going to continue to do what I can. I offered Yana whatever support or help I can do to help him. I'm willing to do that as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where the future holds. Who knows?
I was going to say, well, I really hope you enjoy your Bud Light later tonight.
Yeah.
Have a nice long
Yeah, thank
rest.
you.
Do you have tomorrow off?
Not yet, but it could be in the forecast. But I do, before I go, I did want to thank everybody that has helped me, especially my family, my wife, my kids, my brother Michael, and my brother Robert poured their hearts out. My friend Steve Malone, Denise Caprio, Jerry Lonis on the conservation, they all kind of supported me. Couldn't even have got this far without them. We left it all out there on the table, so we really have no regrets. We just, you know, at some point you leave it up to the voters, and the people spoke, and this is where we're at. So that's the beauty of this process. And this has to be a winner, it has to be a loser. And you know, I want to, you know, I think Ward 1's going to be better off. We're going to be good with the kid that they put in. So there's no losers for Ward 1. So I think we're going to be good going forward.
Well, thank you so much for your time today,
All right.
Kevin,
Thank
and
you so much.
good luck. And
All right.
you ran a great campaign.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, everyone, as we wait for our next guest, we're still waiting for official results, but I believe our next guest is going to be Jose Oliveira, who's going to be walking behind me and getting mic'd up. So we are still waiting for official results to come in through the city clerk's office. Hello, Jose, how are you?
I'm well, how are you, Carl?
I'm doing well. How was the day?
Cold, windy, fun, and exciting, engaging. So.
I have to tell you that I was at a polling location with one of your volunteers, and they actually told me that Sarah is the boss.
Yes, yeah.
And that they follow whatever Sarah says.
This is true. When it comes to sign holding, absolutely, she was the boss.
So it's been a while since I saw you on the show. How's campaigning been? Is there anything interesting or unique that's come up since then?
Campaigning has been just kind of the everyday, you know, I come home from work, I go out, knock on doors, try to connect with as many people, try to get to as many events. That has been the case since July 5th, where I've constantly have been out. I don't even know how many miles I've walked. The average weekend was at least 30 miles walked around the city of Woburn. So I really do appreciate the residents that have opened their doors. Some let me in on their couches just to have conversations with them about our schools or just about anything else. So it's been really good to kind of get to know these residents, get to see more of Woburn that I normally would never see. A lot of cool doorbells and porches that have been really cool. So, yeah.
What are you going to do with all your free time?
I'm just probably going to keep knocking on doors just to say hello, just because I don't know anything else now.
I feel like it's going to be so bored.
Yeah, so, you know, depending on what happens with whether elected or not, I think the focus still has to remain, how do we make our schools better? There's the big task of building some schools or addressing the concerns within these schools. So that's going to be the focus regardless of what the outcome is tonight. And I'm hopeful that there's a lot that of the people that were running that will continue as well, whether we are elected or not, and that we get more people engaged and energized in looking at our schools as more than just places where kids go every day, as a big component of what our city is. So.
And I have to tell you, I really appreciated some of the ideas you had for get-togethers with voters. I loved the hot chocolate on Halloween. I was pretty jealous of that idea. I thought it was pretty great. Did you get lots of people stop by?
So I think across the city, people had lower trick-or-treaters anyway. We had about 75 people, by Horn Pond. The wind was definitely a factor because there were times where it was like, we have to brace and make sure all these things don't fly off the table or whatever the case is. But it was really good having people come out, and there was this added benefit of a lot more people knew who I was. So it was really exciting and fun. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Nice meeting you in person.
Nice meeting you in person.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Up next, we have Ward 7 Councilor Chuck Viola. Come on in, Chuck. How you doing?
Good, Carla. How are you?
Good to see
Good
you.
seeing
Welcome.
You too. Thank
So,
you.
I know that it was a relaxing day, but how was the day out at the polls?
It was good. Good turnout over in Ward 7. It was steady. People coming and going all day, so it was really good.
Anything interesting happen at the polls today?
Nope. Just a lot of people wanted more information about the fire station that actually is going at the Reeves. That the lands, they were wondering about where it was going to be built and stuff. So I had explained to them where it was being built on the baseball field, and explained that it's not going to. The driveways and stuff aren't going into the Reeves itself. So a lot of the residents were more happy about that, and they felt safer for the children as well.
And so how, since I saw you last, that actually did get approved. So now what are the next steps for the fire station?
The next step is it has to go in front of the Conservation Commission. They have to approve the project, and then it goes to the City Council special permit process, which then we go over the whole project, put the list of conditions in, what we want for the conditions for the project to make it safe or with reasonable accommodations.
And how long do you think that process takes?
Usually the special permit process can take a couple meetings, so it could take could take about a month to 2 months the most.
And is there a timeline as far as when folks would like to have construction start on the?
Yep, so construction's supposed to start, if everything goes to plan, we stay on schedule, construction's supposed to start June, July of this year.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Great.
Yep, and it'll take about 18 months to build, so.
Great. Well, thanks so much for stopping by,
Not a
Chuck.
problem.
Great to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Good seeing you
Have
as
a
well.
good day.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to take a break, everyone. We'll be back soon. Welcome back, everyone. While we're still waiting for official results, we have another guest with us, Joe Demers, Ward 4 City Councilor. How's it going, Joe?
It's going great.
How was the day today?
I'm thawing out as we speak. I can finally feel my ears again.
How was the day today?
It was good. It was good. I got to see a lot of constituents. Most people don't realize that Ward 4 has actually got 2 polling locations.
So I was going to ask, why?
We were at the Old Wyman and at the White School. I think it has to do with a space issue.
See, I said that to
which
somebody.
will eventually be a larger discussion we're probably going to have to figure out where Ward 4 will vote when we do anything with the Old Wyman School, or where early voting will end up being as well. So that's part of the discussion. But yeah, I was bouncing between both polling locations, so if you didn't see me at one, odds are I was at the other one.
I was going to say, that is unique for Ward 4.
It is.
And so even when you don't have an opponent, you're still moving all over the place.
Exactly. And the last one we had was Ward 1 was the Clapp School and the Joyce, and now they've moved it all over to the Joyce. So we'll be coming up with something. But it was a great day. I saw a lot of constituents and a lot of friends and family, so it was a great day.
I know we've spoken recently, but since I talked to Chuck, there's been the passing of the use of the fire station on the west side. Is there anything going on in your ward that's different or new since I've talked to you last?
Yeah, well, we talked about what we'll do with the Old Wyman School last time, but we're expecting a petition to be filed by Home Depot to do a home and garden center at the movie theaters. It's not even close to being discussed in terms of their plans. There was a recent meeting where they showed a plan where what they could do. But we're talking with them right now, and they'll probably be filing a petition when the new council is sworn in, so that the new councilor will be able to take part in the matters.
So for something like that, for a matter like that, if it comes before the new council in January, if things go according to plan, how long would that take
I wouldn't expect it to happen fast, because I think my approach would be to have some community meetings to hear feedback from the neighbors and abutters. There's going to be a lot of studies that we're going to require them to do. Any of the drainage issues that are over there need to be taken care of, as well as traffic. I mean, traffic's always going to be a big concern, but we're going to want all that flushed out, and we're going to want to get a lot of community feedback.
Great. Well, thanks so much for stopping by,
Thanks for
Joe. I
having me.
really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, we're going to keep going. I don't know if we have any results yet. We don't have anyone to talk to. Nobody has anything to tell me.
Well, I'll just say, congratulations to the winners, and thank you for all the candidates that went out there. It's really tough. I've been on the losing end of election day before, and it's really hard because of all the time and effort you put in.
Yeah.
So I want to congratulate everybody for being part of the process, and hope everyone stays involved in the community.
I hope so too. And actually, one of the interesting things that I heard consistently from the different city councilors in your interviews was wanting to get more community feedback and input,
sure.
and hoping that more people get involved, even if it's watching online.
There was a great crop of candidates this time around for the school committee. I was really impressed getting to know a lot of these newer candidates, and having served on the school committee, it's just great to hear how people think. You can't go into these things and thinking you know all the answers, and you hear different perspectives from different ways of life or people that grew up in different communities. So I think it was a real benefit to the city to have a great, run of candidates for that race.
And I think because the schools are in such an interesting spot right now, just with the need of new buildings and just with a changing population of the community and of the school systems, like it's a really great time to have a lot of options and to have a lot of different ideas.
It's just good to see a lot of different people involved. You get different voices, different perspectives, and I think it made that a strong race.
I agree. I'm still looking forward to seeing what is going on and who is. Okay, we don't have. They want to wait for the results. So we're going to take a brief recess while we wait for the results to come in, and then I am sure we will have a lot more candidates who want to come and talk to us. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Colleen Cormier, incumbent candidate for school committee. Colleen, how was the day?
It was lovely. It was a little windy, but the sun was out, and probably my second favorite day compared to the parade day.
Colleen and I were actually talking earlier about how the Halloween parade introduced us because we did the Halloween float in 7th grade. So just a little,
that long
Colleen
ago.
Cormier trivia, should you be following at home with a bingo card.
Yes.
So Colleen, I know we talked all the way back in September. Since then, has there been anything that's kind of come up that's been unique or different for school committee since we talked last?
Well, we started talking about the new buildings more. Of course, Gillis Field happened since then, so we turned over Gillis Field by the Reeves to the city so they can build a new fire station. It'll be the same plan as the one by the Goodyear, so it'll look exactly the same, which saves costs there. I don't know when they're going to get started on that, but that is that. And then we're also talking about North Woburn and new middle schools according to the feasibility study, which has been a conversation for a long time, but now we are honing in on the statement of interest that we need to send to the Mass School Building Association to see if they will help to fund that project. And we have to figure out which project it is, or both, I hope.
And I know that you do a lot with the wellness programs with the schools. Is there anything going on with those?
Yesterday morning, we had a meeting with the wellness coach that we applied, and we were awarded this time with a wellness coach to go over our policy, make sure that we're following it, see where there are areas for improvement. So that is, of course, moving forward still, and it's really been a great opportunity. We have different people coming in, different times, the food service, phys ed, so it's a lot of collaboration within the city and the schools.
It's great. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before you go?
No, I'm just really excited for today, and I hope that it will turn out the way I was hoping. I went to a lot of bake sales today, I can tell you that, and it's just really nice to be bumping around, seeing everybody, see who's holding signs, chit chat. Like, you really have just a great time, like hanging out, waving.
And I did forget to stop by the Malcolm White, but I heard that they were doing a bake sale with comics. So
Yes.
Did you stop by, and what did that include?
So I was able to buy something that was not sweets, which was good because my car was a little full today. But I do have a cookie waiting for me for celebration when this is over. I did get a comic. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades, the art teacher, it was sizable. And I was telling one of the PTO members there, I remember writing my own comics in 4th grade, Super Mario. I might still have it, but I thought that was fantastic, and it was a non-food option for those of us that were all fooded out for the day.
And what did you see at the other schools in their bake sales?
Oh yeah, the Alta Vista had chili, and I missed the meatballs, but that was awesome. And at the Harold Wyman at the Spence Farms, they had brigadeiros. Somebody had made Brazilian treats. And let's see, we were at, that was Malcolm White, and then Shamrock had all kinds of good stuff, Goodyear, and then my last stop was the Reeves. They don't have a bake sale at the Joyce, though. They need a bake sale.
Yeah.
We're going to work on that.
I think probably it's middle school.
Yeah,
It's a little bit different than the elementary PTOs.
Listen, I said Linscott should pop over there because they don't have a bake sale that day because they don't have an election.
That's a great point.
I know.
I also know that you've been working on a lot of policies for school committee. Is there any recent policy that's been updated that's been interesting or that you might want to share about that's been a change?
I mean, we went through all of the finance policies with Alex Dizio, who used to work in the treasurer's office. Now he is our director of finance. And so we took this opportunity at the suggestion of the Mass Association of School Committees to review all of our finance policies, which is always a good thing to do. So that was our most recent thing. We've got to look into a few, and we were actually talking about in wellness, a life-threatening allergy medication administration policy, which has a lot of moving parts, but with EpiPens and with diabetes and all these things that, there are things that we need to make sure that everybody has access to in case of an emergency, and in the unlikely event, and hopefully we don't have that problem, but it's better to be prepared. So,
are there any policies that you've heard that the superintendent's group might be bringing down the pike or changing? Like, how does that work? How does it work with like the state group?
Yeah, I mean, so we have the ones that I will bring a bunch through because the MASC suggests it. We got an email recently about our rental policy, and so the superintendent said, hey, we should go over that. So that's something that he will sort of draft something up. We'll meet, we'll go over it, and then we'll bring it to the full committee, which, you know, it is a long process because you go over it as the subcommittee, and then we bring it to the full committee. 2 weeks later at our next meeting, we then discuss it. 2 weeks after that is when we vote. So it could be like 2 months, you know, which is good because then it gives you the opportunity to really look at it closely, and the community gets a chance to look at it and respond if needed. So that is really good for us to be able to do.
Great. Do you think we're ever going to get results tonight, Colleen?
You know, I can't tell you the answer to that. Our current and soon-to-be former member, Andrew Lipset, told me he was going to have the results early today, but he dropped the ball on me, and I'm just going to, you know.
Well,
but I do appreciate him and his 6 years on the committee. We did run together in 2019, and we got on at the same time. So I do appreciate him and his collaboration over these 6 years, and he will be missed on the committee. But I am confident we will see him in the committee room and in front of the table to give us all kinds of ideas and feedback in the coming years, for sure.
Absolutely. And we're still looking, and there is still no one. Well, we just saw Yano, who we know has won because Kevin announced.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the update.
But now he's walked away, so we won't bring him back. Let me see. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we let you go?
Let me think. So I've been busy at work, juvenile detention, teaching the young youth about health education as well as providing primary care to them. So I tell them if I am not grossing you out or scaring you, I'm not doing my job. And so I did a lot of that last week. I'm just so excited for the coming years of the school committee. I can't wait to see. There's obviously going to be at least one new member to replace Andrew, and there were so many great candidates, and I kept running into so many people today. I think Jose was following me around, honestly. He wanted to know where the good bake sales were.
I did tell him that I think he had the best Meet the Candidate event with the hot chocolate on Halloween. I was like,
who would not want hot chocolate?
I know. It was so good.
Valid. I had hot chocolate today from Studio Cafe.
I should have also gotten that because it was really cold out there.
And you know what they're doing with the SNAP? They're giving out free lunches.
I'm so impressed with the community between Studio Cafe and Roma's and the different nonprofits that have food pantries. It's been really great to see the community come together and make sure that we're taking care of our neighbors, especially those that are older and on short incomes and those with families. So I'm really just so impressed and thankful that Woburn has really kind of stepped up with that. I also know the city of Woburn is working on having something. I think every Friday night.
Yep.
So I think it's really fantastic just that there's so many different options between all of the different organizations and groups and businesses. I think it's so fantastic.
Did Samantha come up yet and talk about what's going on with her?
No, I did actually. I did ask her. I said she should stop by, and she said, "Well, we don't want to pull away from the mission." And I said,
"Well, while we're here, I will tell you that she is having a part-time job fair. She had the job fair full-time recently, which was fantastic. The second annual." Had the idea of the part-time job fair, which will be November 15th, a Saturday, 10:30 to 12:30 at Woburn High School, ages 16 and over. And I can tell you this so clearly because I've been calling businesses for her to get them to come in and be part of it. So I feel very well versed in this event. There's about 20 employers, I think, at this time, but I'm still calling. And we need more people to come down and that are interested, that are needing part-time employment, especially seasonal work. That was a big draw, but the employers were really interested. And I will tell you, I reached out to Mahoney's, and knowing that they were going to need seasonal. And fun fact, the person who I emailed, I saw this weekend at a Halloween party, and I said, "Oh, you? I know you. I sent you an email. Respond to my email." But he said, incidentally, that he had over the spring some students from the high school who were in a co-op internship program that they do as the the seniors, and he was so impressed with the Woburn High students, and he cannot wait till they return in the spring. So I wanted to make sure I got that out there, and I've got to still tell the superintendent and Mr. Quayle because we love that. We love that feedback.
I think that's a great shout out for that program. And so if there are potential employers out there, if you are looking for senior interns, I believe is it a semester?
Yeah.
So it's last semester of the year, and it really gives our seniors an opportunity to try something new and different as they are going off to post-secondary either education or the workforce or the military. And so if you're out there, please make sure that, if you hear from the school system, definitely check in with them on that, because they would love to have that.
They did so many different things in like independent study and like so many different options that the youths had, so that's fantastic. And then of course there's also the Volunteer Expo coming up, second annual, also at the high school, December 4th, which is a Thursday, from 5 to 6:30, and we will be receiving, I think it's the second now annual Community Impact Awards will be given. So that's a fun thing to be there for. I know I will be there with the Friends of the Library / the Woburn Community Education Foundation. I just wear a lot of hats, as Samantha says,
Okay, I'm going to cut you off and just say you can go now. But actually, before I let you go, why don't you go ahead and plug the Ed Foundation's event?
Yes, we have the Gourmet Gala coming up also on November 15th, same day as the part-time job fair. That's for your morning, and for your evening, 6 o'clock at the Country Club. It is really, we are raising money for the grant program that we use for the teachers that last year we raised $33,000, and I intend to raise more this year. But it's for the teachers, for things for the classroom, and for professional development. But we also have this year, for the first time, we have one of our educators who have received the grants come and talk to how that's impacted her classroom. She's one of the favorites, I know. So people are going to be really excited to see her. But we have things for auction. It's going to be great. So anybody who hasn't jumped in on that yet, we have one table left. So
there you go.
People got to hurry up and get their tickets. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by. Good luck tonight.
Thank you for
we
having
hope
me.
it goes well for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good seeing you.
Oh, always.
And we will be back soon unless somebody will be back. Welcome back, everyone. While we're still waiting for official results, we are lucky to have Mayor Michael Concannon with us. Mayor, how was the day?
It was long and it was cold, but it was exhilarating, and it was a great day. Great day for the city of Woburn. Pardon my attire. I was out holding signs all day. It was a good day. We have a little bit of turnover, some new faces, but all in all, I think it's a good day when you have that many people interested in stepping up and trying to serve their community. And I thank everybody who competed. Just had a couple of conversations with those who were successful and those who weren't. I'm sure there are ways that we can keep those interested candidates involved. There's boards and commissions and other things that happen in the city, so there's always an opportunity for somebody to serve, and I'm grateful that they want to.
So that's actually a really great question. How does someone get placed on a commission or a committee? Like, how does that process work?
So on the city website, there is a link to the boards and commissions, and you can see all the number of commissions that exist. You actually see the members' names, and you see expiration dates of when their terms end. So if somebody were to look through all of that, and one of the boards or commissions appealed to them, or they wanted to learn more about it, they could contact my office. They could contact the chair, who's also listed in each of those instances, learn a little bit more about it, and then express their interest. Many instances, I'm the appointing authority, and there's a couple of other nuances where there might be a gubernatorial appointment or a particular need is filled by a member of a board. But yeah, just reach out and let us know that they want to help, they want to contribute. Always looking for people who want to step up.
So once someone reaches out and it's a good fit for a commission, what's appointing look like?
An interview probably, depending on the number of candidates who express an interest. There's a conversation I'll have with them. Oftentimes we'll ask them to go to a couple of board meetings to really understand what's happening and make sure it's something they want to do. I'll talk with the chair and make sure that they also think it's a good fit. And then depending on the way the board or commission is set up, it's either a direct appointment by me or it's an appointment by me with confirmation from the city council.
Okay.
And their personnel committee would do an interview, and then they'd report it out to the full council for a vote. It's pretty straightforward. It's nothing anyone should be worried about or nervous. It's not a United States Senate confirmation hearing. It's really just a conversation about why the person might want to serve and what they think they could contribute, what topics they think they would bring to the table, and maybe some ideas on how to make that board or commission better. It's really just a conversation.
And I think that's so great. And one of the conversations I had with a couple of the other, with the city councilors is just their encouragement that they want more folks to be getting involved. And I think sometimes people don't quite know how to get involved. So that's a great example for folks to be able to kind of think about what makes sense and being able to look at the city site and reaching out to the mayor's office.
And there's a couple of dozen boards and commissions that exist. And again, I'd ask people to take a look at the website, see every option, dig a little bit into it, maybe go to a meeting or two and see what it's really about. And if they think they're interested, they think they have something to offer, they think they can fit within the meeting schedule and all, by all means, let us know. We're always looking for people who want to step up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Mayor Concannon.
Thank you, Carla.
I will let you go, and we will have someone from your office come up next.
Very good.
We're going to have Samantha Stone coming on in. And we're going to have a great conversation about different things that are happening around the city. Hello, Samantha. Oh, I'm so happy you're back. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you. And
I've missed you.
I've missed you too. And can I give you a hug?
You can give me a hug. I'm so good.
And mostly I want to give you a hug because I want to say thank you. So,
of course.
So this was one of the, when you agreed to do this election series for me, now that I had worked in the mayor's office, it was not appropriate for me to continue to interview candidates. And I missed it, I'm not going to lie. You were phenomenal. But you also didn't know that there would be 10 school committee candidates running when you said yes. So I mostly just want to say thank you because We don't have these types of one-on-one interviews. There's lots of feedback and endorsements and surveys and websites, but there's something unique in having a conversation. And thank you for having those conversations. And thanks to all the candidates for participating in the process. We know that that takes time.
It was fantastic. It was great to meet everyone and get a better understanding of what they're bringing to the table. And I think even being able to have conversations with folks and hearing about their background and their interest, and there's just so many different things going on in Woburn and where people come to their interest in the school committee from, and so I think it's fantastic. And I will say it was also great getting to know the counselors and what's going on in their districts. And there's a lot going on in Woburn right now, from the fire stations and the schools and Home Depot. While I have you here, would you like to share some of the different things that are going on with the Community Resource Center? I did want you to plug your photo exhibit.
Oh, I'm so excited about that. So for those folks who've been by the Community Resource Center, you might have noticed there are 15 or 16 frames in different rooms in the center. And we have held different exhibits there. We've had children's art there from a couple of different places. And one of the reasons we do that is it gives us an opportunity to share the center with people in a new way. And this particular exhibit I'm excited about. It's 16 photographs of amazing places in Woburn, submitted by 16 different people in Woburn. So we had over 60 total photographs, and so it was hard to select.
Wow.
But we were really excited to be able to showcase some incredible talent in our community and really to celebrate Woburn, right? That's what this is all about. So we'll be having a sort of opening of the exhibit on the 20th. In the evening, and I believe it's 5:30 to 7. I think that sounds right. But it's going to be fun, and it's a great way to just celebrate the community that we're all part of. And I'm thrilled that all the different people shared their work with us.
That's fantastic that 60 people submitted work.
Yeah.
That really is
great.
I
don't know if it's 60 people or 60 photographs, but definitely we had, I wish we could have displayed everyone's.
Yeah.
They all had something special about them, but I'm really glad that we can have 16 different photographers in the community be recognized. And there's a couple people who are photographers by trade, but most of the work was submitted by people who took it on a walk or were hanging out downtown and took a photograph. And so to me, it's like looking through the lens of the people who live here and what they see when they see Woburn. And I think that makes this extra special, and I can't wait to share it with people.
That's fantastic. Now, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I do know that you've been doing a lot of work with the initial funding cut of SNAP and now partial and delayed. Do you want to just share, some of the different resources through the city for anyone who may be in need?
Yeah, so, we recognize that this is a really hard and somewhat scary time for a lot of families and individuals who rely on SNAP for food. We are very fortunate to have multiple food pantries in our community, and so the city's strategy has sort of been amplify what other people are doing. We saw Roma's give away bread. We saw the Woburn Teachers Association today do a huge collection drive. There are other catering companies and other people who are doing things. Studio cafes having some free lunches. Wildfire Catering donated a bunch of meals through the dwelling place. So we want to make people aware of the good things that are happening in our community that other people are doing. We also want to make sure that we're supporting our food pantries. We know the demand for their services has gone up, so we've redirected a little bit of our grant funding to help out there. We're helping gather volunteers to support organizing, packing, sorting all the donations that are coming in. The city has also teamed with United Methodist Church to host Friday night community dinners that are happening, so I'm very excited about that. We have collection boxes across the city to make it easy for people to donate food, and we're constantly looking for other ways to do it. The most important thing that I hope people do is, if you know somebody who has need, I hope you do two things. Share the information that we've published with them, or help them make an appointment at the Community Resource Center. And at the Resource Center, we're there to help them with their immediate food needs, make sure they know where they can go, that they have a way to get there, where we have some donated gift cards and things, we're of course sharing those. But also if there are ancillary things that they need support in, it's a great opportunity for us to have that conversation. There are some other programs that are affected by things right now, for example, the Heating Assistance Program. and some other things. So we just want to make sure that families are well cared for. And I'm incredibly touched by how many people have raised their hand to say, I want to help. So we have also documented a list of ways that if you want to help, here are easy ways that are high impact that can help make sure that we're all coming together as a community. So thank you for asking about it.
No, thank you. I think it's really important right now, especially for those folks who are struggling, for them not to feel alone. And if there is all these resources, we want to make sure people are aware of it. So I do appreciate that the city is amplifying and connecting, and that we're not recreating the wheel, because who needs to do that? But thank you, I appreciate that. And then I do know Colleen mentioned, you are a busy lady, that you have a volunteer fair coming up,
Yes.
and that you have a part-time
Job
fair. I think that's in partnership with the schools.
So we're doing the part-time job fair. Really was born in September. We had a big job fair. It was hugely successful. We had great feedback from employers and job seekers. Lots of people got jobs that day, got interviews that day. Employers were really thrilled. And the reason we do these job fairs is you can go online and apply anywhere. You can, fill out the outlines, but it is a blind process. And so people think, I'm not qualified for that job, so I'm not going to apply. And employers think that person's background isn't a fit for the job, I'm not going to bring them in for an interview. When they're actually talking to each other, magical things start to happen, and we saw connections of people that never would have taken that next step. And so we are very pleased that we can have that type of connection in person. And so after that fair, we talked about doing a part-time job fair that would in part serve students who are 16 plus looking for work, but also be able to serve adults who are looking for part-time work or seasonal work. So we've teamed up to have it hosted at the high school. Students are very welcome, we encourage it, but also other people who might be looking for work are welcomed as well. And we're thrilled to be able to do it. And I believe that someone from the schools will be there to talk about work permits. So for students who've never worked before, who need work permits, we'll be able to have those, somebody there to answer all their questions.
That actually was going to be a question for me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like,
Yeah.
hey, who do they talk to about work permits? So
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you. And then volunteer fair.
Yeah, so the Volunteer Expo is something we did last year for the first time. And what makes the Volunteer Expo different is we have a whole lot of nonprofit organizations who are there, but each of them has a different activity at their table. So when you go, you're actually doing good. So you're learning about that organization, but you're also folding towels to make kits, or building wreaths, or making bookmarks. So you're doing things that help people while you're there. And so we had a great turnout last year. We expect and hope another one. That's happening on December 4th this year. That is physically held at the high school, because there's a nice big space for us to do that, because there's a lot of moving around. So we're excited to bring that back again.
Before I let you go, is there anything else you want folks to know about going on in the city?
Oh my goodness, there's so much.
I know. I'm putting you on the spot.
Here's what I will say. I think we've talked about some of the most recent big important things, but we've worked really hard to increase the number of ways that people can learn about what's happening. So what I would ask people to do is, if you're not already subscribed to the city's website calendar, I encourage you to subscribe. You'll get a weekly email of new things that have been added. If you are on Facebook and don't follow the City of Woburn page, I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to come out to the town halls and all the other ways that we do things. I also just want to say, I'm not going to say who it is quite yet, but we are going to honor 2 Resident Impact Award winners at this year's Volunteer Expo. So we'll announce those in a few days, and then hopefully many of you will know those folks as well and be able to help us celebrate them.
Awesome. And then actually, I think you mentioned it, is there a town hall coming up?
We won't have the next town hall until after the new year. We had one recently, so the holidays is a busy time. So in January at some point, we will host the next one.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It was so much fun sitting with you again.
Thank you for chatting with me, but also thank you for doing this.
This
It's a
is
really
so fun.
important link for our community.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and we will be back maybe with some results.